Bang, bang, Southern Fried Gang. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I was kind of playing the theme song in my head there for Southern Fried Sports. Episode 62. I think that's what we said. But nonetheless, I am JD Wyatt. I am your Southern Fried gentleman of Southern Fried Sports. And this evening, we are locked and loaded. No, we will not talk football. We'll talk about football. But right now, they call it Overreaction Monday. I just like to call it Reaction Monday. So it's all about what we are going to react to regarding this weekend. Brian says, what are we cooking? It's a great question. We're going to talk about the college baseball regionals and how drunk they were this weekend. I have a few questions about some of the Women's College World Series, some of the plays that I saw happen there. Brian kicks off the show, though. Do you like baseball field to be artificial turf, like some of the college baseball field? I'm not for any kind of fake turf, to be honest. I get that it is a necessity in some parts of the country. But like here in Greenville, all of the Greenville County schools are swapping to artificial turf on their football field. Most of their football field is also the lacrosse field and the soccer field. And I feel like a lot of ACL, MCL injuries, things like that, that's where you get them, is on artificial turf. Artificial. Words are hard today, y'all. I got another word for you later. I struggled so hard with it. We'll talk about that coming up. But yeah, it's a good thing to look into, Brian. Like I mentioned, the injuries and all of that. Artificial turf versus real turf. And then, yeah, we got a few new people coming in. Ball knowers. All right, so Matt Kraft. Ball knower. Do you prefer, like Brian's first questions here, artificial turf, real turf? What are your thoughts? Gamecock Chuck, same to you. What are your thoughts? And welcome in. Good to see you, my friend. Hey, you know what? Hey, I stay in the loony bin or putting out silly goose material, as Kane likes to say. But y'all, that's the first question leading off tonight. Brian, he led us off with a question. I'll show it to y'all again. Do you like the baseball field to be artificial turf, like some of the college baseball field? College baseball is going to be a topic of discussion this evening. Very much. We are going to talk a lot of college baseball. I'm watching it currently as we speak. Tennessee leads Wake Forest, bottom of the 7th. runner on first, nobody out. Tennessee up to bat. We've got UNC. They defeated Oklahoma earlier to go to their supers. And I told y'all, college baseball is drunk. Murray State leads Ole Miss 12-5. Ole Miss fell behind in their regional. Think about what's all happened in these college baseball regionals, y'all. First number 1 seed ever to be taken out. Also happened in women's college softball just last week with Texas A&M. It's the first time that the number 1 seeds did not make it out of their regional. Vanderbilt, wow. You've got Clemson. Someone who picked Clemson to go to the College World Series this year? Me. I did. And I was wrong, per the usual. So batter me up, fry me up, throw me in to the fryers on Southern Fried Sports. I was wrong. I picked them. We got Pensman who showed up. Madcraft, silly goose material. Let's go. You know it, Bubba. Madcraft, when his hurricanes start, he can't promise that he'll be active in the chat. Hey, no, I expect live updates. Because apparently there aren't many regionals coming on my TV in these final games. Like, literally the only one I could find is what I'm watching. Tennessee and Wake Forest. Why? I mean, are they on ABC? Why are there not more college final regionals on my TV? Like, why? No. Jeopardy Masters is on ABC. Like, I got to go to ESPN Plus. To find more baseball games? I ain't got time for that. I like to change channels. And I can't be doing that if I'm on ESPN Plus. So, college baseball on my TV. Women's college softball on my TV. Let's check in on them. Maybe. Nope. Commercial. Gamecock Chuck, though, he says, yeah, Texas didn't win their regional either. They were the number 2 seed. Yes, correct. Did y'all see what the UTSA coach said in his press conference? He said, man, that's crazy, right? $800,000 in NIL just beat $9 million. Yeah, Clemson was a bad choice. Gamecock Chuck says he knows. Never picked Clemson to the College World Series. I thought it was their natural progression. I really thought Eric Bakich had it figured out. I have no idea, though, what happened to the Clemson Tigers. 7 errors. I mean, they look like my 5-year-old. My son, y'all know. I've told you. Played T-ball this year. That's what Clemson looked like this weekend, throwing the ball around. Hitting batters. Just ridiculous. What's also ridiculous is, yeah, you're probably right, Pensman. The college baseball regionals probably do not get good ratings. I've been locked in. I've been tuned in. Madcraft says they'll be on ESPNU. I'll have to swap over to my YouTube TV for that one. Gamecock Chuck says, in all defense, Jeopardy Masters is probably better. Hey, that sounds like an old man take, Chuck. You're not that old. You can't say that just yet. But yeah, I do like Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. Madcraft, he's mad. He knows it's not on everything. He had to already buy ESPN Plus for the game yesterday. Family show. Yes, indeedy. Eyes up here. Gamecock Chuck, you dirty for that. That was below the belt. That was below the belt. Try to keep the gloves up. Family show. Eyes up here. Y'all are already killing me in the chat. Y'all always do. If they get that old dinosaur out the dugout, they might make it. Bakich is a good coach. Like I said, I just trusted their natural progression for Clemson. But to Chuck's, Texas lost. Vanderbilt lost. Southern Miss lost to the 4 seed in their region. That everybody was like, oh, Southern Miss doesn't need to be hosting. There were 5 national seeds, I think, that were beat. If y'all give me a minute, I'll pull up the bracket. But like I said, the college baseball regionals were just drunk. They were off of their rocker. So you even had Oklahoma UNC earlier today. Oklahoma had to win 3 games. They won 2. They fell short, though, today. You've got Oregon State playing USC for their life. Florida State made it through their bracket okay. I just mentioned, we've talked about Southern Miss and the Hurricanes. Louisville defeating Vanderbilt. All right, and then you've got UCLA, who advanced out of their regional. UTSA that I mentioned, though. They came out of a regional against Texas and Kansas State. Texas, the number 2 overall seed. You've got Ole Miss. Murray State is smoking Ole Miss right now. 12-8. It was 12-5. So Ole Miss is trying to make a late comeback. Oregon State is up 9-0 on USC. So you got a few of these top seeds that are going to escape. But even then, you've got LSU and Little Rock this evening. Duke eliminated Georgia from their regional. Tennessee, like I said, they're winning 8-5. They've got runners second and third, 1 out. Tennessee's still at bat, so they're looking to add on to their lead. And then you've got Arkansas. But that has got to be the most compelling NCAA regional first round I've ever seen. Macraft says, is there a way for him to make a quick call? Real quick. Yeah, Macraft, check your text here in just a second. I'll set you up. P Digits, I know you said baseball. And hey, I'm going to use this for one of my articles, P Digits, if that's okay with you. But baseball is a funny sport. Is literally what you've commented before. It's weird. Baseball is weird. Gamecock Chuck says he's praying for a Tennessee loss. And what's up to P Digits? Yes, of course, P Digits. So Matt Kraft, he says he's got a strategy question. Let's see if we can dial up old Matt Kraft. While I'm doing that, though, let me shout out GreenvilleSportsMedia.com. Got a couple of articles up on there. Arden's Burger and Grill, beef and rib. Pepsi Energy, W Energy. South Florida Tribune. And make sure to hit like and subscribe for all of you listening right now. Brian, so far you have 6 out of the top 25 teams that have made it. Yeah, I know, it's wild. The college baseball regionals are just, they're drunk. P Digit says, yes, I can use his phrase in an article. I'll make sure to give you a shout out as being one of my very loyal listeners. And while we wait on Madcraft, I did have one other question. I told y'all I had a word that I struggled with earlier. So I can say fraternity pretty easily. Fraternity. But I struggled so hard to say fraternization earlier. Fraternization. I'll spell it out and give it to you in the chat. Fraternization. There it is, bottom of the screen. Can any one of you give me a good way to say that word? And as I say all that, there he is, Madcraft. We'll see if we can get him up and going without his microphone being muted. Let me see if I can unmute.
That was my fault. I had myself muted.
No, that's all right. We're good. Madcraft,
Hey,
welcome.
listen. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying welcome. What you got?
Yeah, I've got an interesting topic, man, and I was gonna try to do this on some of my local stations earlier, but didn't get the opportunity to. And I think you're gonna get a scoop in this because I think this is very interesting. So it all stems from a strategy idea that I had while I was watching Miami's first game. We played Alabama in the first game. And, immediately from the jump, you think, all right, well, we were the 2 and 3 seeds. Miami was the third seed. Alabama was the second. So when these two teams played, we had a 1 and 4 seed that was going against each other hosting this regional. So imagine your strategy on how you're going to work your pitching throughout this weekend. And the reason why I bring this up is because I actually had to look up. I don't know if you knew what, the pitching regulations as far as pitch counts are for pitchers in college baseball. Did you know that?
No. Did you look it up?
I did.
Okay.
I didn't know it either. I had to look it up because
Right.
this intrigued me.
Yeah.
And it's
and it
actually,
does me too. Yeah, this intrigues me. I hope it intrigues everybody else. Here, let me say this too, real quick. I know how strict they were for Little League and like Dixie Youth, and you had to go sign a pitching affidavit after every game, stating, this is how many pitches your pitcher threw. So yeah, I'm really intrigued to hear what they are for college, Madcraft.
well, yeah. So it blew my mind a little bit. Hello, everybody. It kind of blew my mind a little bit, but the way that it essentially, this situation played out was Alabama decided that they would go, obviously, their top of the line, best guy statistically they had. He was their, if you want to call it, their ace, right? And his name was Riley Quick. But what he did was in the first inning, he had given up a couple of hits and wound up giving up 3 runs. And then I actually believe they have gone to 4, but for dead certain, it was 3 runs at least in that first inning. And he was at 21 or 22 pitches. here's my question. Here's my strategy question. The rule states that 24 pitches or under, then there is no rest requirement, no day at all. That pitcher can come back and pitch at any point in time tomorrow, right? So if you consider yourself, this is game one. Remember, it's not an elimination game, right? You've got your best guy on the mound, and he obviously didn't have his stuff to start the game. Gave up 3 runs, top of the first. Would you consider pulling him immediately and basically working it as a bullpen game, knowing that you can now use that pitcher, your ace, at any point in time for the remainder of this region? Because the more it goes up, the more days of rest that the rules require for you to have. So if you go up to like 49 maybe or something along those lines, then it requires 1 day of rest, or then 2 days of rest. So if a pitcher winds up throwing 90 pitches, guess what? He's gone for the regional. You can't play him anymore because we play these regionals in 3-4 days. So you may not have that opportunity for him to pitch again. So it then becomes a factor of, well, if he's now given up 3 runs in the first inning, he hasn't reached that mark of 24. Should we pull him? And that's kind of my strategy question for you. It's very intriguing to me because I don't know the answer,
Right.
But I
you,
just wanted to do that, and I will have to leave out of here real quick. I got to go watch my game, but I do appreciate you having me.
yeah. Well, here, before you run, so I'll address what you just said, and you can come back and listen. Let me ask you one though. So Texas, I think it was the bottom of the 8th. They had runners first and second. I put out a tweet about it. I would have to look it up. I forget the exact, but it was they were down a couple of runs or a run in the bottom of the 8th. Runners first and second, nobody out. Your hitter coming to the plate is 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts. And they didn't bunt him. To me, that's one of those things.
They didn't what?
Bunt. He was 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts. Bunt. Get your tying run to third with 1 out, so you at least tie the game. And then, of course, Texas went on to lose.
Yeah.
But they could have at least tied it and put the go-ahead run at second base. And I was like, you might not get that opportunity again.
Look, baseball is one of the, I heard you say it earlier, baseball is just one of those weird sports. I've been screaming that from the top of a hill for so long. You know I have. Know I have. But listen, hey,
but yeah,
I'll tell you something else too. A funny thing about the Texas thing was also the same as Vanderbilt, because I also didn't recognize that if Miami was to win, we don't know, but if we were to win our regional tonight, then we were actually in the 16th seeded regional. So we would have had to have gone and played Vandy had they won, but they didn't. So we can go play Louisville, which is a team that we know well. So, you know what I'm saying? Right. I'll take that as a positive, but we got to win tonight. So, Canes up. We'll see what happens. I appreciate you, JD.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, you go Canes. Let's see what y'all got. Who knows what'll happen? LSU, Little Rock. Hey, I think LSU might go down. I don't know. LSU might go down tonight. Who knows? So, yeah, let's go back to Mad's question. I could argue it both ways. If I got a guy who gave up 3 runs in 24 pitches, knowing what I know, I'm probably pulling him. And let me tell you what I know. What I know is that I went out there one time and I gave up 8 runs in 2/3 of an inning. Probably in about 30 to 35 pitches. So if they had left that pitcher in, which was me, he would have gave up a lot of runs. So I did. Man, that's still one of my worst memories about baseball. It was like I was throwing batting practice, y'all. I didn't have nothing. I was throwing strikes. I was throwing hittable balls. They were hitting them. Yeah, P digits. First inning. Yes, I started that game. We got Mickey. Hello. But yeah, that's what Minecraft was saying too, Pensman. Is if the pitcher throws less than 24, he can be pulled and not have to rest. And so again, though, these college baseball regionals were just drunk. And maybe the Florida head coach, Kevin O'Sullivan, had a bit of a hangover. Because if you haven't seen it, he called out the associate athletic director and the grounds crew in a video that is now surfaced. Has a lot of curse words, a lot of F-bombs. Kevin O'Sullivan berated the grounds crew and two representatives for Coastal Carolina. They have since put out an apology. But man, oh man, the Coastal Carolina coach was not happy. He called out Kevin O'Sullivan for being a jerk, for being a bully. That's me paraphrasing. That's me summarizing what he said. Summarizing. Golly. Words are hard. But this guy, he would cuss you out if you overcooked his steak at a restaurant. Kevin O'Sullivan would. You can see it on his eyes. Like, he's not a guy you want to rub the wrong way. Or anyway, honestly. Family show. Eyes up here. I don't think Kevin O'Sullivan is a guy that you could say hello to walking down the street and get a good response. And so he and the Coastal Carolina coach had some words for one another. It's quite interesting. If you haven't seen it, look it up. Random info. Oh my gosh. Random info from Madcraft. Forgot to mention Miami's starting pitcher tonight is a transfer from Winthrop, born in Columbia, South Carolina, not the country, I assume. Madcraft. The O'Sullivan drama, though, if you haven't seen it, look it up. I did have a couple of things to say about Gamecock baseball. And like I said, it's Reaction Monday, not Overreaction Monday. So I'm not going to pull a Will Smith. I'm not going to walk up to the media microphone and smack Eric Backage in the face. But Eric Backage, I will tell you this. Keep my team's name out your mouth. Okay? Just because y'all played terrible in a college baseball regional does not mean that you get to bring up the fact that you beat your rival 3 months ago. Nobody cares. We were terrible anyway. You just got drugged at home in your own regional. This is the same advice I gave to Paul Maneri. How about say, I got to coach better. We got to get better players. We have to be better. I don't want to hear about what you did 3 months ago when you beat us. Oh, whoop-de-doo. We were terrible. So keep my team's name out your mouth, Eric. I picked you to go to the World Series. You want to throw shots at the Gamecocks. Yes, indeed. Go Coastal Carolina. The best team in the state of South Carolina, college baseball-wise. Without question. USC Upstate's good. I'll tell you what. Cade Sweeney, heck of a baseball coach. So, yeah, that was my message, though, to Eric Bakich. We got the Kevin O'Sullivan drama out the way. The Clemson regionals, all of the regionals, they were just drunk. Exactly, P Digits. Out of all the things you can say in a press conference after you lose the regionals, how about we threw the ball around like a bunch of little leaguers? Eric could have said that. Say we hit as many players as a 12-year-old baseball team. Could have said that. It's baseball, Pete. Yeah, exactly. Eric Bakich acting like he's Ohio State and finally beat Michigan in football. Or Michigan that didn't win the national championship and they beat Ohio State this year. But we beat our rival. Nobody wanted to hear that. Nobody. Not a soul. Not a soul wants to hear me. But we do it anyway because I love you. We're going to take a little break. We got the college baseball out the way. Next is college softball. We'll be right back. And bang, bang, Southern Fried Gang. We are back. P Digits, you're showing your hate, and I respect it. No. I'm just reacting on a Monday, man. It ain't no hate. I have no hatred in my heart. Other than the fact that I picked Clemson to make it to the College World Series, and they didn't. Golly, that's the first time I've ever been upset about Clemson losing ever. And for that, there might be a little bit of hate. There might be a little hate. JD don't hate. He loves the Tigers. No, I just love. It's like Brian and his Cubs. Hey, P. Digits, I'll be honest, man. When you said go Cardinals earlier, I thought you were talking about the Arizona Cardinals. If I'm being honest. St. Louis Cardinals, for some reason, it took a minute for that to click. No, I'm just kidding. I knew what you meant. Gamecock Chuck says he loves seeing Clemson lose. All right. And so, speaking of seeing things they love, I can't say that I love women's sports, but I have grown, I guess you could say, fond of watching recently. Could they maybe get me to love it? If I could watch college softball all the time, yes, maybe. Because the drama and the hatred and everything that I saw this weekend was absolutely fantastic. And let me start it off with this one. So, did y'all see the UCLA player who hit a game-tying home run in the top of the 7th inning? She didn't touch home plate. And one of her teammates had to, hey, after the celebration, be like, hey, touch home plate. But apparently that play was not reviewable. And so instead of the umpire just coming on and saying, the player hit home plate, this play cannot be reviewed, he came on and said the player missed home plate. She had to be aided by a teammate who told her to touch home plate, but that is not a reviewable play. This is literally something that happened in a college softball game, y'all. So instead of him just saying, hey, we can't review it, she touched home plate, we're good, he was like, no, she didn't. Her teammate told her to touch home plate. She then did so, and there's nothing we can do about it. And so the game proceeded to go 2 extra innings. Tennessee ultimately did end up winning the game. And afterwards, they put up a fire tweet that said Appendix G, which was the part of the rule book that said that that play was not reviewable and didn't end the game earlier. So Tennessee took it personal, and they said that ball don't lie. The real winners will win this game, and they did. They didn't need something in a rule book to help them, and they put out a tweet to let everybody know about it. Isn't that just fantastic? Matt Kraft says, Chucky the Tiger. No, I don't know about that. I don't know. That doesn't fit. Chuck says, though, he was pulling for West Virginia because his wife is from there. Hey, man, listen. Clemson fans, they weren't happy about their pick to begin with. Kentucky, West Virginia, man, oh, man. They had it rough to begin with. Madcraft, solo shot from Williams, 1-0. Canes, top of the second. P. Digits, West Virginia, was hot coming into the regional. Sometimes baseball works that way. Don't predict a natty until the supers at least. What? No, I didn't predict a natty. I just predicted them to the College World Series. I figured they would be one of the 8. I wouldn't pick them to win. I mean, obviously now if I could go back, I wouldn't even pick them to win the regional because they didn't. It's the funny thing about predictions, man. You can know sports, you can know ball, but at the end of the day, you just don't know. You just don't know. And then that was the other story, though, about the College Women's World Series and UCLA and Tennessee yesterday. Apparently, you just don't know that the infield fly is in effect. Normally, the umpires and everything will tell you, man, Runners on first and second. Less than 2 outs. Infield fly is in effect. How do you not know, as a Women's College World Series softball player, that the infield fly rule is in effect? So, in the top of the first inning in Tennessee and UCLA, runners at first and second, 1 out. The batter hits a fly ball, shallow center field, just behind the shortstop. Shortstop's backtracking, misses the ball. The runners at first and second do not have to move. The runner at second, though, takes off for third. The girl who missed the ball threw it to third. They thought it was a force out. So did the UCLA runner. She just walked off the field, not knowing that she had to be tagged because it was not a force out, because the batter was already out. So basically, you were tagging up from second. So you had to be tagged. The UCLA player walked off the field. Therefore, she was out. But she wasn't actually out. And so Tennessee didn't know the rules. UCLA didn't know the rules. Does anybody know the rules? And speaking of rules, I had a great conversation with Mrs. Hopkins on Twitter earlier. She put out that she cannot understand why there isn't a safe base in softball. Baseball has one. You know, the little base beside first base that the runner has to run to. It's a farther distance in baseball. So wouldn't it make more sense for softball to have this base before baseball did? But they don't. And so yesterday in the UCLA Tennessee game, a runner running to first base got hit with the ball. After review, it was shown that she stepped into the field of play, not in her runner's lane. The play was reviewed and she was called out. So, who's keeping up with all these rules? We can't even review one play on a home run, but we can review a play on a runner running to first base. Why isn't everything just freaking reviewable? Like, period. Like, if it's reviewable and you can deem that a rule or a penalty was committed, why can't we just get it right? Why can't we just get it right? Yeah, back to Matt Craft's conversation about the pitch counts. A softball pitcher, I know. I saw the same softball pitcher pitch 3 times this weekend. I don't understand how underhand doesn't hurt your elbow just as much as overhand, but it does. And they get to pitch as much as they want. Texas Tech, they beat Oklahoma. Shocker. Yeah, if she stepped inside, she's out for sure. She was out. But if they would have had their safe base, it would have been a lot easier for them to call without reviewing it. No, Lord have mercy. We've been down rabbit holes already. No, absolutely not. Just step on first. I know there's been some weird plays, I think. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I've seen it. There is a weird one about a player being caught in a pickle between home and first. Underhand is natural for humans. Overhand is not. Dude, trust me. My elbow knows. I could not ice it. Matt Krause says, yes, they can be caught in a pickle between home and first, and that is the rabbit hole. Oh, gosh. No, Matt Krause. But the Women's College World Series stuff, also wild. I told you about the home run play, runner to first base, the infield fly. I think we got all of that covered. All right, we got a few quick hitters. We'll be right back to tackle them. All right, we're back. Minecraft, bro, I'll be honest. I had a couple of Braves quick hitters that I was going to do. But I know you're trying to watch your Hurricanes. And I don't want that smoke this evening. So we're just going to say the Braves are awesome. They're doing great. They named a new third base coach, Freddie Gonzalez. And Marcell Ozuna apparently has a hip tear. Hip tear. Like Hip Hop Anonymous. Hip tear. Marcell Ozuna, Braves, quick hitters. The NASCAR race, again, was terrible. I think I'm boycotting until Chase Elliott wins again. Or Kyle Busch. I'll tell you what, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, either one of y'all win again, I'm back all good with NASCAR. But y'all are killing me right now. Killing me. Ryan Blaney, though, won the NASCAR race at Nashville last night. Carson Hocevar is a daggum good race car driver. He will win sooner than later, I do believe. Speaking of someone who already wins and wins and wins and wins and wins and wins, was anyone shocked by Scottie Scheffler? My goodness, y'all. Thursday, Friday, not, don't hear from him much, nowhere to be found. Saturday, into the lead. Sunday, dominates. Scottie Scheffler. Can he possibly equal what Tiger Woods did? He's got a long way to go. But he is stringing wins together. That could be, if he can keep it up for a few years, like 3, 4, 5 years, winning at this rate, he might be the closest thing to Tiger that we've ever gotten to Tiger. And so with all of that said, I open the floor to you. Madcraft, Brian, Chuck, P. Digits, Pinsman, Ralph, any of you guys? I got a few more comments to get into, but anything you want to react to, anything you have to say, send it in. Let's talk about it. And we'll get out of here in about 10 minutes and let you go watch wrestling or the Real Housewives of Miami or the Hurricanes or whatever. No, Madcraft, no more rabbit holes. You heard me. He says he won't hate. I know you're more intelligent than the one I usually argue with. Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't claim to be more intelligent than anybody. I can't even say intelligent 3 times fast. Intelligent, intelligent, intelligent. Ooh, maybe I can. Brian says, laugh out loud. Madcraft says, do your show, dog. I won't complain. Nah. Even if you did, I wouldn't listen. Or I wouldn't take it as complaining. Saturday was better. Go Junior Motorsport. Hey, man, I'll be honest. Brian, good comment. I have preferred Xfinity over NASCAR recently. The Cup Series, it hasn't done it for me. Xfinity, love it. Xfinity, love it. Trucks, I like to see mistakes. I like to see cautions. I like to see the cars too hard to be driven. Apparently, they're easy for everybody to drive except for Chase Elliott and Kyle Busch, like I mentioned. Golly. I was speaking of NASCAR, though. What y'all think about the Amazon Prime? Did anybody go out and buy Amazon Prime to watch the NASCAR race? Nope, I didn't. Already had it, thank goodness. But I hate to tell you, I wouldn't have bought Amazon Prime to watch the NASCAR race if I didn't already have it. Brian, nope. Nope. Madcraft says the NASCAR season has been so bad that the Indy 500 was the best race of the year. Bro, I'll take it one step further. I'll say that the Grand Prix of Monaco was better than the NASCAR racing this year. And that Grand Prix was terrible. Gamecock Chuck says he's got Amazon Prime. Say, check, I get my shipments for free through Amazon Prime, but I will not use it to watch NASCAR. Oh, Macraft, he will be... Okay, well, we're looking forward to videos then, Macraft. We can't wait to see him. He'll be on the front row at the start-finish line for the Saturday Atlanta night race. I do outsmart a lot of things. But then again, I'm not that intelligent. We just said that. So I can't contradict myself. All right. So no, I've never been able to outsmart anybody, P Digits. Nope. 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 No, I've never outsmarted anybody. Yeah, Atlanta is a good race. I would be down for that. Yeah, we can't wait to see videos, Macraft. Gamecock Chuck, baseball team's up to, I think, 12 players in the portal. Yeah. It don't look like we're going to be able to keep anybody. Paul Maneri is going to be like John Calipari, being like, hey, I talked to the team. There was no team. Pretty soon. P Digits, I am not here to provide guidance. But I did hear that Amazon Prime was offering a 30-day free trial. So if you did want to watch the NASCAR races, you could subscribe for free. And if you just create a bunch of random email addresses and always sign up for a free trial every 30 days, I guess you would never technically have to pay for it, would you? P-Digits. But again, we're not here to outsmart anybody, man. I don't know nothing about nothing. I don't know a thing about a thing. Murray State, Ole Miss, 12-11, top of the ninth. Murray State leads. Ole Miss will have to try to come back and win it in the bottom of the ninth. As I said, though, y'all, the college baseball regionals have been trumped. The Women's College World Series has been fantastic. Got me wondering if Jerzenbeck was pulling a Juice Wells. Golly, we've turned Juice Wells into a verb now. Sitting out because of injury to go get a payday somewhere else. Very possible. Very possible, Chuck. That's an interesting theory. And yes, Chuck is a great provider of wisdom, P-Digits. Not me, man. Not me. I'm just blessed that I get to do this show a couple of times a week, and I've got loyal listeners. Hey, I said that right too. Bang, bang. We've got loyal listeners. We've got intelligent listeners. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate GreenvilleSportsMedia.com. And y'all, that is going to be a wrap for Southern Fried Sports episode 62. Let's see what this comment is. Madcraft, for reference, Miami had the same issue last year. It's the NIL era. Yep. Yeah, Chuck, man, you do a great job. I love your videos too. Hey, y'all, if y'all don't know Gamecock Chuck, Madcraft, all you guys, make sure to hit Gamecock Chuck with a subscribe too. I'm pretty sure it's at Gamecock Chuck on YouTube. And if not, I will get y'all the YouTube. Make sure to hit subscribe on him. Always great Gamecock content. I try not to be tied to the Gamecocks too much, man, because I try not to be miserable all the time. Pretty much that's all of my sports fandom in general. I would like to sue all of my sports teams for not winning enough. Like that one Colorado fan who tried to sue the NFL about Shedeur Sanders falling so far. Man, I'll sue everybody. We'll fry everybody. And we'll get fried on Southern Fried Sports. Every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. We appreciate y'all being here. Make sure to hit subscribe and like on your way out. Don't forget Greenville Sports Media, South Florida Tribune, and of course me, your host, JD Wyatt. Y'all have a good night. Be blessed, not stressed, and just be kind to one another. Dang it.